Hey, it's H2O for the Bane of Winter contest. I decided to do a Forge Guard Javelin build, converting all of our dodge rating stacking into armor, so we can stack some end game armor here. The way we're going to do that though is a little different. We're going to actually convert all of our dodge rating into armor, and then all of our dodge rating as well into endurance threshold while we're standing still. And then we're going to also use Wall of Nothing to convert all the rest of our endurance threshold into ward decay threshold. So it's going to give us some ward, some endurance threshold, ward decay threshold. And the whole point of this build for the mountain is to reduce the mana cost of javelins so we can throw javelins continuously. So we're going to use the forceful hurl node that gives 150% penetration just for our javelin for standing still. So it's kind of all working together to do all those wonderful combinations to do massive damage. Some ways we're going to actually scale our dodge is in the volatile reversal node. We can actually scale dodge when we use volatile reversal, and then we can also scale our dodge based on using the sigils of hope by having a maximum of those. So we actually overcap the endurance threshold, which, believe it or not, does continue to give us ward decay threshold from Wall of Nothing. So by overcapping it, we actually can get more ward than we actually have. Health. So to the bread and butter of the build, the Bane of Winter, we're going to actually use the cold damage taken as physical reduction, so we can just bypass that defensive capability and invest elsewhere. And then we're also going to use the most important line is using the Void Winter bolts. We're not going to scale the damage because it doesn't proc fast enough, and we're not doing any really void spells or cold spells, but we are going to use the cold tag. The cold tag is going to then proc the newly buffed Snowblind to give massive amounts of armor against chilled and blinded enemies. And since Forge Guards don't have cold spells, we actually can then double multiplicatively scale our armor. So we're going to convert dodged armor, endurance threshold to ward decay threshold, and then at the end of the conversion, double our multiplicative armor just by standing still. So that's the idea of the build. It worked pretty well. I actually leveled this entire thing. Well, leveled after I was able to unlock Wall of Nothing in Bane of Winter in the 80s, but I went through the monoliths, the empowered monoliths with it, and killed some bosses, some harder bosses. I was able to kill the two bosses right before Aberoth, and then Aberoth, you don't want to stand still, you just die to everything. So I did use Vessel of Strife as well in this build, though I ran into some interesting bug, to say the least. So yeah, Perry, how do you cleanse these circles on the ground? You say you can cleanse this. Let me know. So obviously this is a bugged interaction here at the end, and I took it off the build and used just a Javelin +4 relic. But outside of those boss fights, Vessel of Strife was working well, but for some reason it bugged out in the Harbingers and Orbis fight. So hope you all like it. Thanks. Bye.